the one thing I think we're gonna have to do is stay on top of them because of the budget cuts, and they're crying now that they can't do this and that. If we don't stay on top of them, my prediction is it's not gonna happen.
Right. And this is pennies compared to the expansion of the 7th or the East Side Access. Those are all projects that are still, that aren't gonna benefit many of us. Definitely not the East Side Access. They're not talking about reverse commute or things that might help some of us. They're really talking about the 2nd Avenue subway line, extension of the 7th train, and those things don't help us. But this is, you know, it's a fraction of what those types of multi-billion-dollar projects cost.
Yeah, I just want to make an addition to what you were saying concerning leaving vehicles running. Apart from the accidents that take place subsequent to the vehicles being left running, you're also talking about the question of pollution, which I think is very, very important.
Right.
That's a major problem in New York City.
Yeah.
And also, what I would like to ask, you were talking just now about the budget and the overlays. You are right now in deficit 1.5 billion. I don't know, I am not part of the city council, but what I would like to know, how is it that you guys go about, I mean, you got a cake.
Right.
You got to split this cake in different sections to use it up.
Yeah.
Now, if the cake is getting smaller,
Right.
and nothing is coming in to back that cake, it definitely means you have to keep reducing and reducing and reducing. It means that you have to cut you either cut the amount of money that you're spending, meaning that you will have to do layoffs and what's not, or you have to get other source of bringing in income. Now, personally, I don't think increasing taxes is the answer to that situation. Bearing in mind, it was mentioned earlier about this meeting that's going to be held at Southern Avenue concerning real estate. I mean, the city made a lot of money. A lot of money was made over a period of time through real estate transactions. The boom and bust came around. They're not getting that money now, and that is one of the contributing factors why we are in this situation. They're not getting the money.
Right.
So I don't know how, you guys got a rough job
It's
here.
the budget for next year.
Yeah.
And it starts July 1st and we get it in June. So it's not like the city council, I've only recently got there January 1st, but they anticipated this. And that's why they raised taxes last year, but they also cut spending in all the mayoral agencies, and many people were laid off last year. And people are still gonna get laid off. Except it's not gonna be in sanitation, not gonna be in the police department, Department of Education. And they're also cutting money that they allocate for different resources, and meaning tools and back office supplies. So they've cut their spending approximately like 20% in the various different agencies. And they've cut it like 12% already, and they're going into a similar type of cut for this next budget. So that they're doing in anticipation. They're spending a lot less. The revenue is not coming in because people are out of work, and there's less and less income tax coming into the city. Like you said, real estate tax. People aren't spending as much, so the money isn't coming in like it once was. They've reduced their spending probably about $4 billion since last year's budget, which is significant when you have a $60 billion budget. And the state was in a lot worse of a situation than the city is currently in. And you're absolutely right. In order to balance a budget, you either have to continue to cut, or you have to somehow raise the revenue. And there's different ideas that are floating about. I am not a tax-happy person by any means. I don't agree with it. I think it's very hard for our middle class in this city to get ahead. They said recently, even by raising the real estate tax on the most wealthy, someone like Galisano, who is a very, very wealthy man, is thinking about changing his residency to Florida, and every day he's going to save $14,000. But that's $14,000 that we'll no longer get in our revenue stream. So it's even when you tax the wealthiest, they look for other places, because many of them have a few homes. And they'll say, oh, I'll live in Florida for a few more days, and that'll be my residence. So we always have to look at creative ways. I don't agree with income tax, raising the income tax. I don't like the idea of raising sales tax. And there was only one tax that I agreed with that the mayor suggested, and that was charging 5 cents for plastic bags. I think that I think it's a problem for, our environment, wasteful plastic bags. And I think it's good for people to recycle and use cloth bags. And when you like a plastic bottles program, it really worked. There were less and less people just throwing out plastic bottles, and more people participated in recycling. So something clever like that you could raise revenue, I agree with. But not going too crazy, not going to charge more than 5 cents. And even many stores like Stop and Shop, if you use reusable bags, they'll take money off your bill. They'll take 5 cents for every bag that you use currently. So getting other businesses to buy in. But I certainly don't agree with raising taxes.
Just in addition to what you said, I have a suggestion to make. I don't know how you're going to take it, but I learned one thing from one politician. If in the good days you make a lot of money, take some of that money and put it aside so that when the bad days come, you will have there for the rainy day. You can take that. We were making so much money. We were making billions of dollars, and we just kept spending and spending and spending, and we end up in a deficit of $1.5 billion. We don't have anything to go back on right now.
Right.
So maybe you can make that suggestion.
I'll tell Michael Bloomberg. I really appreciate the time tonight. I'm going to leave some business cards in case anybody wants to reach out to my office directly. If you have a pothole or a stop sign, anything.
Just one thing, Elizabeth, since you surprised us, we're going to surprise you. We're making you an honorary resident of Woodhaven tonight. And you may not be a t-shirt person, but we're trying to plug these t-shirts. And we're going to present this to Councilwoman Crowley tonight. She's now an honorary resident of Woodhaven.
Thank you.
Now we'll plug it. Now we'll plug it. It's $10. If this doesn't fit, bring it back. We have other sizes, but it's $10, and it's designed by us. This is ours. You don't see these anywhere else. It's a limited edition, so it'll be on Ed's website. Thousands of people a day will see it. So thank you so much.